Replay Auburn's basketball 85-73 victory over Florida on the 9th. KD Johnson scored 23 points, including the final 7 of the game for Auburn, as the 9th-ranked Tigers won their 11th in a row, 85-73, against visiting Florida on Saturday night at Auburn Arena. Johnson led all scorers on the night, and Auburn had 4 finish in double figures to help Bruce Pearl's team improve to 3-0 in SEC play. All 3 of Auburn's conference wins have been by double digits, and the Tigers are now 14-1 overall. It's the first time in 52 years they have opened SEC play with 3 straight double-digit wins. Read more Auburn basketball. Jasper delivers for number 9 Auburn in return to Palmetto State. Walker Kessler, Jabari Smith take home SEC weekly honors. Wendell Green Jr. pushes Auburn's win streak to 10 games. The Tigers overcame a slew of foul trouble in the second half, as Walker Kessler fouled out late in the game, and Jabari Smith, Jasper, and Dylan Cardwell all dealt with foul trouble on a night in which Auburn was called for 21 fouls, including 12 in the second half, and the 2 teams combined to be called for 39 fouls. Along with Johnson's 23 points, Smith, Jaylin Williams and Wendell Green Jr. also finished in double figures. Williams finished with 14, while Smith and Green had 13 apiece. Florida was led by a 22-point, 10-rebound performance from big man Colin Castleton. Below is a blow-by-blow recap of the Tigers' 11th straight win. Final, Auburn 85, Florida 73. Auburn threw it away twice against Florida's press in the final minute. Gators got a 3-pointer on the first one to cut it to 7, but nothing off the second turnover. KD Johnson then ices the game with a drive, then a strip, then a free throw with 18 seconds to play, then a dunk off a steal with 5.9 to play. He has 23 points. Florida has not made a basket in 4 minutes. Auburn up 80-68 with 1:10 to play. Walker Kessler fouls out with 2:01 to play. He had 6 points, 8 rebounds and 3 blocks before fouling out. Jabari Smith splits a pair of free throws, and Auburn has its biggest lead of the night at 76-63. During the under-4 timeout, Olympic all-around gymnastics gold medalist Suni Lee was the celebrity letter holder. Huge ovation for the Auburn freshman. Auburn 73, Florida 63 under-4 timeout. Wendell Green Jr. knocks down a 3-pointer with under 4 minutes to play, and Auburn has its first double-digit lead since the final minute of the first half. KD Johnson with a step-back 3-pointer off the dribble. Auburn's lead is back to 7 with about 5.5 minutes to play. Walker Kessler checks back in with 6:13 to play and with 4 fouls. Auburn up 65-61 after Florida misses 2 free throws. Auburn 63, Florida 59 under-8 timeout. Florida hit a 3-pointer out of the last timeout, but Jabari Smith answered with a pull-up 3-pointer of his own. He then had a big presence on defense the next trip down court. Auburn ball coming out of the timeout. Auburn 60, Florida 56, back-to-back buckets for Allen Flanigan, who is 8 on 4 of 5 shooting. Jabari Smith is checking back in. Tigers will need him and Flanigan to finish strong, especially with all these fouls called in the second half. Walker Kessler picks up his 4th foul with 10:54 to play. Auburn has been called for 9 fouls in 9 minutes and 6 seconds this half. Kessler to the bench, with Dylan Cardwell checking in. Auburn 56, Florida 50 under-12 timeout. Both teams in the double bonus with about 12 minutes to play. Jaylin Williams has a season-high 14 points to lead Auburn right now. Walker Kessler called for his 3rd foul, so that's 3 apiece on him. Jasper and Jabari Smith. Teams have been called for a combined 12 fouls in the first 5:42 of the second half. Auburn 47, Florida 42 under-16 timeout. A combined 10 fouls called in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Meanwhile, Jaylin Williams is leading Auburn with 12 points. He and Devin Cambridge have scored all of the Tigers' second half points, with 4 apiece. Pair of lobs to Devin Cambridge get the crowd going at Auburn Arena, but the Tigers have been called for 5 fouls in the first 2:46 of the second half. Could be a long second half here. Tigers up 45-40. Jabari Smith called for his 3rd foul just less than a minute into the second half. Hes beside himself as he races to the bench. Looking at replay, he has a case there. Florida missed both free throws, and Auburn is still up 39-33. Halftime, Auburn 39, Florida 30. KD Johnson and Jaylin Williams lead Auburn with 8 apiece, while Jabari Smith has 7, and Wendell Green Jr. and Walker Kessler both have 6. Kessler also has 7 boards. Balanced effort for Auburn, which shot 50% from the field in the first half. Tigers need to do better taking care of the job. They turned it over 9 times, which led to half of Florida's first half points. KD Johnson with some incredible defense for an entire possession, and then he drained a 3-pointer on the other end of the court. Has got 8 points. Auburn leads 39-26. Auburn 32, Florida 21 under-4 timeout. Wendell Green Jr. just hit a step back from way deep over Colin Castleton. Has got 6 points and a pair of assists off the bench. Jabari Smith drains a 3-pointer, but he picks up his 2nd foul shortly thereafter. He heads to the bench, visibly frustrated. Nice drive and wraparound assist assists from Wendell Green Jr. to find Walker Kessler for an easy basket and end Florida's run. Tigers back up 26-17. Auburn 24, Florida 17 under, 8 timeout, Florida on a 6-0 run, which included back-to-back alley-oops to Anthony DeRuggia. Auburn has turned it over 4 times in the last 3:46 of action. Auburn 24, Florida 11 under, 12. Auburn is on an 8-0 run in the last 112 and has hit its last 7 shots. Tigers are shooting 69.2% overall. Florida has just 2 rebounds, 6 straight points for Jaylin Williams, who brings it up in transition and hits a jump hook in the lane. He then nails an off-balance three-pointer the next trip down, gets fouled and makes the free throw. Auburn leads 22-11. Auburn 15, Florida 7 under, 16. Auburn has made each of its last 4 field goals, most recently a corner three-pointer from KD Johnson, who bounced up and down in front of the Florida bench and chirped at the Gators a bit. Jabari Smith early on, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist and a block. Walker Kessler with 4 points, 3 boards and an assist. Auburn's front court is special. Florida's Brandon McKissick is down after a hard fall under Auburn's basket. Play is paused momentarily. McKissick gets up and checks out of the game. Alan Flanagan also in now for Auburn after missing the South Carolina game. Jabari Smith with back-to-back buckets to open the game for Auburn. Not sure Florida has someone who can guard him straight up. It's 6-3 Auburn after a pair of Walker Kessler free throws. Auburn wins the tip, but Florida gets on the board first with a corner three-pointer on its second possession. Jabari Smith follows with a smooth drive to cut it to 3-2 in the first 100 seconds of action. Pre-game, Auburn lineup: G. Zep Jasper, G. KD Johnson, G. Devin Cambridge, F. Jabari Smith, F. Walker Kessler. Florida lineup: G. Tyree Appleby, G. Miriam Jones, G. Brandon McKissick, F. Anthony DeRuggia, F. Colin Castleton. AL.com will update this post. Tom Green is an Auburn beat reporter for Alabama Media Group. Follow him on Twitter at Thomas_Verde.